Usyk will blow the smoke out. Usyk will kill him.
It's a hell of a start. You know, Moses may not quite have the same energy to light up a room just yet, but he's 20 years old.
I don't agree with you. I think he's got it all.
See you again
This year.
the end of the year.
Yes.
100%. 100%.
And come on, Moses, give us a name. I know you said
Go on.
the crowd should give us a name, and there's many a contender ringside as well. Who do you want to see opposite you?
Usyk. These lot are saying Usyk.
It's Usyk, is it?
What's the crowd saying? What's the crowd saying? Everyone's
So Moses has got everything in his favour. Yeah, then people are going to get all getting excited. Put him in with Oleksandr Usyk. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that because Usyk.
Derek Chicora doesn't hold back. His message to Moses Itauma is blunt. Stay away from Oleksandr Usyk. This isn't just friendly advice, it's a hard reality check. Dusky is a nightmare in the ring. Too slick, too precise, too dangerous. Facing him now could kill all of Moses's momentum, maybe even his career. The question is simple. Is Moses ready for a beast like Dusky, or is he walking straight into a trap?
Or is that too soon? To leave Issyk alone. Usyk's a beast, man. Different beast. Different beast.
On the other side, Eddie Hearn gives his own perspective. He agrees Moses is a future star, but warns Dusky is a whole different animal. The danger? One wrong move, and Issyk could humble Moses so badly that it completely derails his rise. At just 20 years old, is Moses really ready for this massive test? Or will chasing glory too early end in brutal regret?
But at the same time, he may go in there and get absolutely schooled by Oleksandr Usyk. Or he might knock him out, I don't know. But I, personally, at 20, you know, you got to get it right. And Frank, like I said, Frank knows what he's doing. And I think I'd be very surprised if they took that kind of test.
Anthony Joshua gives Moses his respect. He knows the young fighter carries that deadly one-punch knockout power. But here's the reality check. Power alone won't save him against Oleksandr Usyk. Husky outclassed Joshua twice without even breaking a sweat. If AJ himself couldn't figure out Isyk's speed and boxing IQ, how can a 20-year-old survive that storm? Moses might hit hard, but Husky isn't playing the same game. He's playing chess while everyone else is just throwing punches.
I can't, just off the top of my head, those are guys that I mentioned that he's hit with one shot and knocked him out. So you can see he carries that one-punch knockout power, and as we know, that's what it takes.
Tony Bellew also tips his hat to Moses's talent, but he keeps it brutally honest. Issyk has already beaten giants. Proving size means nothing against a true technician. Moses may represent the future, but right now the present belongs to Husky. This isn't just another matchup. It's raw ambition against elite experience. Brute power against pure brainwork. And in this moment, every advantage belongs to Husky.
The thing that I worry about with Moses is the size. But ultimately, as we've seen now, size becomes irrelevant because look what Oleksandr Usyk's done. This guy's gone out and beaten everyone, including me. He's exceptional. So I don't think Moses is going to be as technically as good as Oleksandr Usyk, but he's the next in line. I think he's the future of the heavyweight division. I think he's the next out.
Dave Caldwell steps in with a harsh reality check for Moses. He praises the kid's ambition, hunger, and self-belief, but he doesn't sugarcoat the truth. Husky is not just another opponent. He's a once-in-a-generation fighter. Yes, he's aging, but even an older Husky is still the most dangerous man in the division. Caldwell warns that Moses's confidence is admirable, but there's a razor-thin line between courage and career suicide. Husky's ring IQ, footwork, and adaptability are on another level. One wrong game plan, one reckless exchange, and Moses won't just lose. He'll be outboxed, outclassed, and humiliated. This fight isn't about power. It's about surviving a master strategist. And if Moses jumps too soon, he could destroy all the momentum he's built.
He's a fighter, he's a winner, he's got plenty of ambition, and he truly believes that he can go in there and beat any man in the world right now, and that includes Oleksandr Usyk. Do I personally think it's too soon? Yes, I do. Usyk's he's a different breed, he's a different fighter. Yes, he's getting older.
Duke McKenzie doesn't pull any punches either. In his eyes, Moses is a wrecking ball in the making, but not yet. Give him 4 or 5 more fights, and he could dominate anyone. But right now, Dusky is on a different planet. Duke's message is crystal clear. This isn't a fair fight at this stage. Husky's experience, timing, and composure are unmatched. Throwing Moses in now would be like tossing a cub to a full-grown lion. The kid's power is real, but power means nothing if you can't land it. Usyk's angles, his timing, his relentless ring IQ, they'd strip Moses bare and expose his inexperience. For Duke, the lesson is simple: patience wins. Rushing into Issyk could ruin everything Moses has worked for.
Has the more experience on his side, Itauma.
Absolutely.
You know, another 4 or 5 fights down the line, then you're looking at an absolute wrecking ball. Then he would beat everybody put in front of him.
But
nobody's going to. Yeah, nobody's
We said
going
Saturday who's going to give him rounds. That's what he was saying. He wanted them out of the way.
Nobody beats Usyk.
Amir Khan speaks from hard-earned experience, and his warning carries weight. Rushing a 20-year-old into the ring with a genius like Oleksandr Usyk could be catastrophic. Amir's message is simple: patience builds champions. At this age, Moses should be learning, evolving, and collecting experience, not stepping into the lion's den against a pound-for-pound king. Dusky isn't an ordinary opponent. His movement, control, and fight IQ can dismantle even the very best. Yes, Moses might be special, but putting him in against Husky right now is gambling with his future. One brutal loss could shake his confidence and derail his rise before it truly begins. Amir understands the pressure of being young and talented, and that's why he's urging Team Moses to think long-term.
You don't want to rush him. You want to take it easy. You want to take it slow. Don't rush him. Let him enjoy. He's still 20 years old. Let him get to 22, 23 years old, and that's the time you start putting him in with the top names in boxing, like the Usyks and like the Wilders or even the Joshuas and the Furies. At the moment, I think you should keep on building him.
Johnny Nelson echoes Amir's warning, but with an even sharper edge. He doesn't mince his words, calling a Husky fight for Moses a potential career killer. His reasoning is clear. Why risk destroying the next heavyweight star before he even reaches his peak? Johnny points out that Dusky is nearing the twilight of his career, maybe just a fight or 2 away from stepping aside. Meanwhile, Moses is only 20. The future is his, if he plays it smart. But walking into Isyk's world right now? That's dangerous. Isyk's experience, angles, and adaptability could humble Moses badly and set his career back years. As Johnny says, sometimes you lose a battle to win a war. Skipping Husky now isn't weakness, it's strategy. Wait, grow, and strike when the time is right.
Spoil potentially another rising heavyweight that can dominate the division. Why spoil it? You think, you know what? Sometimes you've got to lose a battle to win a war. So I'd be a bit smart. And I'm not saying he gets turned over by Usyk because you don't know how good this kid is. What I'm saying is, I just won't do it. It's not a risk because he's the future. Usyk's at the stage where he's probably 1 or 2 fights ready to walk away. Moses is 20 years old, so he's the guy that will actually...
Gareth A. Davies shifts the conversation to timing and legacy. For him, Moses versus Issyk isn't just about belts or skills, it's about the moment. Gareth believes the clock is ticking fast. If this fight is going to happen, it has to be before Husky turns 40. Beyond that, the clash might lose its edge, or worse, never happen at all. But here's the twist. Gareth hints that Husky may choose to avoid Moses altogether, protecting his legacy unless the money is too good to resist. That sparks a brutal question. Would Issyk really risk his reputation against a hungry 20-year-old destroyer? For Moses, the stakes are sky high. Beat Husky now, and he becomes the man who toppled a modern-day legend. Lose, and he risks being remembered as the kid who wasn't ready. The opportunity window is narrow. One wrong decision, and it could define both men's careers forever.
I'm not sure that Usyk will want to fight Moses if he's 40 already. So maybe the clock is ticking. The clock is clicking. The clock is ticking for Moses to fight Usyk before he's 40. Maybe as well, he won't want to ruin his legacy. But maybe if Turki Al-Sheikh wants to see the fight, put up enough money, maybe he will fight him, and maybe the legacy will be ruined. But maybe if he fights him before he's 40. Is the risk...
Tyson Fury, never one to hold back, throws gasoline on the fire. In Fury's eyes, Moses Itauma is the future. He believes youth always conquers the old guard, and that the division is full of fading lions. Fighters like Dusky, AJ, Jong, Ortiz, living off past glories. Fury calls Moses the new predator ready to take over. But here's the controversy. Husky isn't just another old man. He's a mastermind in the ring, fast, precise, and calculated. Can a 20-year-old with limited experience really outthink and outfight someone who dismantled heavyweight giants before? Fury insists Moses' natural power, speed, and fearlessness give him the edge. But critics argue Tyson is pushing hype too soon. If Fury's right, Moses could end Husky's reign and ignite a new era. If he's wrong, Moses may step into a nightmare he never recovers from. Either way, if this fight happens, the heavyweight division will never be the same again.
Boxing is a young man's game, like I told Vladimir Klitschko when he was 37. Boxing's a young man's game and he waits for nobody. So here's the opinion, you've heard it here first. Moses Itauma will wreck all them old men out of the division. Usyk, AJ, Miller, whoever there is who's old, Zhang, whoever else there is, Luis Ortiz, all these big names of the past are all a spent force. And even the world champion now, if they took my belts and give them to Usyk, Moses will wreck him.
Russ Anger doesn't waste words. He studies fighters like a surgeon. And when he looks at Moses, he sees something rare. Balance, footwork, defensive positioning, shot selection, adaptability. Moses isn't just hype. He's showing flashes of brilliance that make experts believe he could be truly special. But Russ knows the harsh truth. Talent is one thing. Beating Alexander Husky is something else entirely. Isyk's mastery of angles, his footwork, his IQ, he makes world champions look lost. For Moses, the real question isn't whether he has talent. It's whether that talent can survive against a genius who punishes every mistake. Potential doesn't win world titles. Execution does. And against Dusky, the margin for error is razor thin. One slip, one mistake, and Moses could be schooled by the master.
Moses is one of the best young fighters boxing has seen in years. And I'm not just saying that based on a result over deal. You know, I hope you understand that when I look at a fighter, I'm looking at things that others don't see. I'm not looking at the hype. I'm looking at what he does in the ring, how he does it, his skill set. You know, I'm looking at that because that's the important stuff. And right now, to me, he's shown probably...
John Brawling strips away the fantasy and lays down the reality. This fight is about money. If the right promoters and investors throw a mountain of cash on the table, Issyk versus Moses could be signed tomorrow. But Brawling warns, the kid isn't ready yet. At 20, Moses hasn't had the rounds, the wars, the elite opposition to prepare him for a master like Issyk. Meanwhile, Issyk has already proven himself the best of his generation. On paper, the fight shouldn't happen anytime soon. But boxing isn't built on logic, it's built on spectacle. And when money enters the picture, common sense often goes out the window. If Moses is rushed in too early, he risks being exposed on the biggest stage possible. But if he waits, sharpens his weapons, and times it right, this could become a true changing of the guard moment. Rawlins's warning is simple. In boxing, timing isn't just important, it's everything.
Well, money always talks, doesn't it? And come on, I mean, it's going to be vast, isn't it? And you know, if Turkey wants it, if the big noises over here, the big money men are moving towards that, then they'll be pushing for that. But at the moment, he needs rounds. And who are you going to put him in against to get?
This isn't just another fight. It's a collision of eras. On one side, Oleksandr Husky, the pound-for-pound genius, the master technician who conquered giants and rewrote the rules of heavyweight boxing. On the other, Moses Itauma, the fearless prodigy, just 20 years old, with raw power, hunger, and dreams of becoming the youngest heavyweight king in history. The stakes couldn't be higher. If Husky wins, his legacy becomes untouchable, cementing him among the greatest of all time. But if Moses pulls off the shock, we witness the dawn of a new empire. This isn't just about belts. It's about pride. It's about history. It's about immortality. Every punch could change the future of the division forever. So here's the question. Are you standing with the seasoned master Issyk, or the young lion Moses ready to roar? Drop your predictions. This debate has only just begun.